How old are you?
15.
So you're a freshman, right?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
13.
So what grade are you in?
7th.
So you're in middle school, right?
Yes.
How old are you?
10.
So what grade are you in?
4.
How old are you?
4.
You're 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So what grade are you in?
Preschool.
Does school stress you out?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because if I don't get good grades, then I won't get a good GPA, then I won't get into a good college, and then yeah.
Does school stress you out?
Yeah.
Why?
Like to get good grades and do good on tests and everything.
What happens if you do bad on a test?
Then parents yell at us.
Is that the only reason school stresses you out?
No, like then it'll affect our grade, and then we get bad grades, and which will affect us like for college and our jobs and everything.
Does school stress you out?
No,
Why not?
because I feel like I do pretty good in my classes.
You think that there's a lot of pressure on you to do good in your classes?
Yeah, because I feel like if I don't get ready for getting good grades and stuff now, that later in high school and stuff, when my grades actually matter, I won't be ready and I might get bad grades and I won't be able to go to a good college.
So does school stress you out? Is it hard?
No.
What will happen if you fail a class? Will it affect your future and how successful you are going to be?
Like if I get an F in a class completely. Okay, well, yeah, because then I'll have a bad GPA, and that just affects college and everything, and it's just not good. And then I'll get grounded and everything.
What would happen if you failed a class? Would it affect your future and how successful you may be in the future?
You haven't asked me that. So, yes, it would definitely affect my future because, first of all, I'd get in trouble if I failed. But also, if a college is looking at me and they want me, but they check my grades and they see that I failed this time, like this quarter or whatever, this school year, they're not going to be happy with that. And why would they want someone in their college that is not going to do good for them?
What would happen if you failed a class? Do you think that it would affect your future and how successful you're going to be in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because if I fail a class, then maybe when I'm in higher grades, then my colleges will look, people that want me for college, maybe they'll look back at my grades and say, well, he got an F on this class, and it might affect my GPA when I'm older and stuff.
Are you afraid to fail preschool?
Yeah.
You're scared to fail preschool?
Yeah.
Why are you scared?
I don't fail preschool.
You don't fail preschool? Can you fail preschool?
No.
Do you guys have grades?
No. We do star helpers.
What is that?
We pick our jobs, and we get a star and then put it
Okay.
wherever we want.
How do you deal with the stress of school?
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of do my work and get my stuff done and make sure that I get good grades, and then just freak out every I just kind of explode, but it's okay.
How do you deal with the stress of school?
I try to just keep calm almost, so because I understand, I know that if I'm gonna be stressed on something and I'm doing it, I'm not gonna be doing what the best I can be doing.
How do you deal with this stress?
I just try to get through it and I try to do my best.
Well, testing stresses me out the most.
What is the most stressful part of school?
Probably when you get a test that you don't know is coming, or a test you forgot about and forgot to study about.
What is the most stressful part of school?
Probably tests.
Do you feel that tests in general, like standardized tests or not, do you think they're a true representation of how smart you are and what you learned in school so far?
No, not at all. Like, no, because it's just like it's testing you on what the state thinks you should learn, which is, yeah, that's like true and everything, but like I don't know, like I get testing anxiety. Like when I take a test, I blank out and I forget the answers and like I freak out. But like in reality, if I'm in the classroom, I could have like I could have a 99% or an 100% A and be like super smart and know everything in that class. But as soon as I take a test, I blank.
Do you think that they represent how smart you are and measure correctly how smart you are?
Not for most people, because of like being stressed and not knowing like if you're gonna do good or not. So you wanna like do your best, but then you're like so stressed about it that you don't do your best.
Do you think that that standardized tests that they represent how much you know, how much you've learned, and how like smart you really are?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's like you see that stuff like what you've learned through the year. So like that'll see like how much you've been paying attention in class and stuff.
Have you ever had to take a standardized test?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Why did you decide to take the park tests?
Because if I opted out of the park test for the high schoolers, it's like a bigger deal. Like you'll have to actually like, they're not really. Well, they are sure. I think you take it's either the ACT or SAT, I think it is, and you have to hit some like crazy super high score, and it has to be that or above, or you'll see like won't graduate or something. And like you don't take the OGT, so the park replaced the OGT. And then if I didn't take it, then like even when they're doing like in the classrooms when you're like practicing for the park test or anything, you're not allowed to be in the rooms. You have to go sit in the study hall room. So like my friends that opted like a couple of my friends opted out, and they'd have to sit in the study hall room for like a couple weeks of just like during math class and during English class and during everything else, and you don't take the test, and then like you're probably gonna have to take the ACT or SAT or whatever it is for the perfect score.
Tell me about the park test, like how it was, how it went, blah blah.
Okay, I didn't like that it was online, and I hated that like I couldn't just like write on the test and everything. And like during the math one, it was like it wasn't too bad the first day that I took it, but then the second day it completely made no sense because it was all on topics that we had learned within like a 1 or 2 day time period, because we were on topics that he like a month and a half before the test he had to teach us stuff that he normally would not even be teaching us until after spring break, so we still wouldn't have even learned it. Like he had to rush us that much. So we didn't understand the information. And then, like the English one, it wasn't too bad, except for like, I didn't like that you had to watch a video for one of them. Like you had to watch a video and compare a normal article, and like it's hard to like write about a video and an art, like because like the way that the video was, it was just weird. Like it didn't make sense.
Why did you opt out of the park tests?
Well, I took the language arts ones, but then the parents decided to opt me out for the math ones because they're reading all about the math ones, and everyone was saying, and on the sites and stuff, whatever, that the math is like way harder. And like I talked to my friends after like the testings about how it was, and they were saying that like they were doing stuff that they'd never even like seen before. They've never even like done before, and like stuff that they didn't know how to do, and they weren't. And it's not like they were allowed to ask the teacher like, "Hey, Mr. Pelfrey," or "Hey, Miss Copley, how do I do this?" Because they're not allowed to ask them, and so that was like that's why we opted out of the math ones. But for the language arts ones, we didn't opt out of that. I don't know why, but we didn't opt out of that one, and those were like stuff that we didn't do yet in the language arts one, but then there was stuff that we'd already done. Excuse me. And I don't know, it was kind of like it doesn't affect our grade. It doesn't affect really like anything that I know of or that like most people know of. and so like why take it if it doesn't do anything to you until you're in high school?
Why did you choose to opt out of the park tests?
Because I feel like basically like the park tests, like they're just trying to like see what, like if your teachers are doing a good job and like testing if like the computers are okay on like the park test, and like it's not going to affect me at all. So that's why I wanted to opt out, because I didn't feel like there was a reason at all for the, like they just wanted to see what our teachers are doing.